Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you a quick little review of some clear acrylic blocks, and not so much a review of different brands, but different types that are available and kinds that I use. I've done a separate review of the stamp press, which is thin plastic Fiskars. It comes in two different sizes. This is the compact one, and the compact one is 8 by 6.5, and I think the larger one is 9 by 7. I think that's the sizes. So, and I'll include a link right here to the review of the video for the stamp press specifically. But I keep my clear acrylic blocks in this little drawer, and it's filled to the gills. Let me show you what I have. I have a set of Provo Craft blocks, and they have the little cricket logo in the corner, and they have a green grid line. So I have this long one and a couple of the square ones. This one is 3-inch square, 2-inch square, and a 1-inch. This is really useful for those tiny itty bitty little clear stamps. Those are great. It's a nice depth, so when I stamp, because I have long nails, it doesn't interfere as much with my nails, see? So I like these, and rather than adhere my stamp, clear or foam mounted rubber, on the side of the grid line, I actually adhere it on the opposite side, because I have found, and you'll see the difference between these two, the grid lines have a tendency to rub off if you're cleaning them with any cleaning solution like the StazOn all-purpose cleaner or antibacterial wipes, whatever you use. They have a tendency to rub off. So I mount the stamps on here so that I never really have to clean that side, and you could still see the grid lines. So I use them on the opposite side to preserve the grid lines. So that's the Provo Craft ones. And I have this really large, and I think this is 6.5 by 4.5, and this one has a grid line as well, and it's etched in. See, not drawn, so they won't erase, and it's a little dirty. I'm sorry, apologize. And this one is from Ink and Inkadoo, and I have, I think, a couple of them. The difference between this one is that the edge of it is not straight, so it gives you a nice placehold for your fingers. And again, it's a nice depth, so I don't feel like I'm smacking my nails against the surface of whatever I'm stamping. And my personal preference is thicker blocks. I know that they're heavier if you're transporting them, but I'm not really going anywhere with my blocks. I really use them just at my desk, so I don't have to be concerned about the transport of a lot of blocks. If you're concerned about that, this is probably the best way to go, is this Fiskars for travel, because it's very lightweight and it's varied size, so you can get a nice surface area, variation of stamps. So this is a Ink and Inkadoo one. And then in addition, for the little different edge ones, I have this round one, and I like this, and I, for the life of me, can't remember who this is from. I think it was in one of my hauls, and this one has a grid line that's also etched, see, rather than drawn on. And then there's this one that's also thick and has little finger place holes, which is great because then you feel like it's not slipping out of your hands. In comparison, here are some of the less expensive, a little thinner, and then I have a really, really thin one. This one. This is kind of like an emergency if I really need to, like if I'm stamping an alphabet and I need to have a separate letter on each block. That's why I utilize all the other blocks that I have. So this would not be one I reach for, but I know a lot of people swear by them. I know that Tim Holtz, and I don't own any of them, so I can't even show it to you. I know that his are about this thickness, and some people really like them, and I apologize for the dogs barking in advance because someone must be delivering something. So I'm not a big fan of the thinner ones, only because when I go to stamp, you see my fingers have nowhere to go. So when I go to stamp, they end up hitting the board or hitting my surface before I actually get a chance to have a clear stamp impression. So I like the thicker ones. So these are a couple of the thinner ones that I keep for emergency purposes. Now, with a small caveat, these are thinner ones. They're kind of in between the thinnest and the thickest, but these are from the dollar spot. So it's Studio G, and I stocked up on some of them when they were 50% off. So I have, I think, 5 or 6 of them, about the same size, and these are perfect for when I do stamp individual letters from alphabet, so then I can have multiple letters in use as I'm stamping along rather than have to take one off and put it back on. So it's nice to have the same size because I just reach for it, and it's a nice, I think it's a 1.5 inch, no, 2.5 inch square, so it's a nice size. So a lot of stamps would fit on that. So, and then I have a couple of these, and these are actually nice thickness, but these weren't even stamping blocks. Well, they were. They had stamps attached to them, and I rubber stamps, and I peeled them off and mounted them on foam, but saved these to use as mounting blocks. So these are cute little 1.5 inch, yeah, 1.5 inch squares. And I have some old school with a ridge for easy grab, which is nice, and then a flat large one. So of all of these, oh, and this one is from Stamper's Best. It's a nice size, it's a nice thickness. It does have straight edges, but I still feel like I'm not losing grip of it. So there's a quick little review or preview of the various clear acrylic blocks out in the marketplace available. Again, I don't have the Tim Holtz one to review to show you because I don't own any of them, because I know that the thinner acrylic blocks are not my fave, so I have not invested in them. But for those of you who do have them, please, I would appreciate if you could share how, you know, what you think of them. Do you like them in comparison to the thicker ones? You know, are they, I know that there's grid lines on them, are they etched in, are they drawn on? So those kind of things really do make a difference. I like the ones that are etched on, then you don't feel like you're going to rub them off, whereas like the Cricut ones are drawn on, and they do eventually come off, so that's why I use the reverse side. If you have any questions for me, or if you would like any other reviews, please leave me a comment. I'd be more than happy to accommodate. Thanks so much for watching.